Well, I mean, if you could
Oh,
find
yeah.
the same, if you could find any that are the exact same frame that are, 24 hours apart or whatever, and then zoom in really close and show that they're pixel the same, that would be at least somewhat
I'll
compelling.
do that. I'll do
Also-
that next.
Also, you just test your theory too. Maybe look up other 24-hour videos, right? Like, but not even, it doesn't have to be like
They have it
24-hour
as well,
sun.
dude. They have it as well. Some of the older 24-hour suns, they do the same thing. The flares are the same as it rotates around.
See, 24-hour.
Yeah, but some
Yeah.
of those that were claimed too, I've also zoomed into those and they were actually different. Just because it looks similar from far away doesn't mean it's the same pixel to pixel. That's all I'm saying. It just needs to be shown on that one.
I don't know. That side by side is pretty compelling. Just gonna say, pretty compelling.
There's going to be other people recording it as well, right? So multiple different angles
Right.
we can look at as well.
Oh, dude, there's gonna be like 8 or 9 full time lapses, multiple videos. There's gonna be like 10 plus terabytes of footage. There's gonna be tons of footage.
You guys are gonna have to reach on fake video when this isn't even like the only people recording out there.
So they're all gonna bring it back to you and like upload it. Is that like the plan?
Yeah, they're on their way back already, I think.
Oh, okay.
What? Has Dave McKeegan the only one that's released a 24-hour? That's all I could find.
So far, yeah.
I'm
Hey,
just- I'm
yeah,
just-
so I don't know if you guys are looking at the one I posted. I don't know if that's the same one you guys are all looking at, but the one I just posted was posted by somebody else when they're next to each other. And there's a point here, I took a screenshot. There's a point in the video where there's some artifacts like where, like, if you see what I just posted, there's like this little kind of like, I don't know if it's a cloud or what it is that comes like from the top of the screen down. And that's also very similar, but there's an artifact underneath that's different. That looks like maybe a wisp of a cloud or something underneath it. That's different, but the thing coming in from the top of the screen coming down in it, I don't know what you would call that, if that's part of the camera lens flare or what it is, but if that's a unique, like, I don't know, you would think they'd be very different. Is strange. I don't know what the claim even is here. If they're exactly the
if
same,
they're
I don't even know
lens
what the claim would
flares,
be.
it's gonna look
But
very similar.
I zoomed into that one yesterday and they're actually different. Pixel, they're different.
But they're not synced up.
Right. Well, you
Why
see what I'm
you-
saying about that little white wisp at the very top that comes in from the top?
Yeah.
Just that. It comes in
there's
at like
other
the
ones.
same timing.
There's other ones I haven't even pointed out because they're like very faint.
Well, the point is, all you have to do is find a single instance of a pixel match from 24 hours later, and then you'll have shown that they faked it intentionally. Barring that, we're just not going to say that we believe you that they faked it.
No, I don't think there's anything conclusive here. It's just very interesting. Even if it's just, even if it's a real sun and it's 24 hours later, whether it's fake or not isn't even the question. It's just very interesting that they would be very similar. Even this similar, even if it's not exactly the same, the coincidence of it being this similar must have some kind of explanation.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It-
there's a sun tracker. I mean, they're literally tracking the sun. I mean, it's like in the spot, it's like in this, it's always like tracking it. So it's always gonna be like I don't.
You think the artifact should be a lot more random than this, though. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
you would think whether
that,
they would be or not.
Not if
Everyone
they're
would
lens
guess
flares.
that. Really,
If
you
you
think
look at
that's
the sun,
consistent?
Yeah,
look at the
they'll
sun,
I don't
be
know.
fairly
it
consistent.
freezes.
Yeah.
Look at the sun.
You know,
Really?
this isn't the first
Like
time the
freezes.
observation's been made of the sun in Antarctica. That's not the first time it's been made. So the idea that people are thinking that it's the final experiment is obnoxious because there's not even an apparatus that's guaranteed to be a scientific apparatus to be considered part of an experiment. It has happened before. It proved nothing.
It's a much bigger meta
still
conversation
proves
than we're
nothing.
having right now.
Hey Dave,
Oh yeah,
is your-
it totally doesn't prove anything.
Dave, what
Totally
is your
doesn't prove
take?
anything.
What is your take on the whole thing? I'm just kind of curious what some people.
I think I think it's great. I think it's the best thing to ever happen for Flat Earth because because it's a step forward in figuring out what's actually going on. We know we're not on a spinning ball. It doesn't change that. We all know we're not on a spinning ball. Maybe there's people that haven't realized that yet, but for me, Flat Earth was never a belief. It was never model versus model. The ballers have always tried to make it your model versus this model. But flat Earth is not a belief. It's just a realization you're not on a spinning ball. What it is after
Correct.
that, we'll have to figure out. If this is another piece to the puzzle, that's awesome.
All right. So
And
your
there's
take on
lots of theories.
your
Here's
overall
what's
take
fun.
on it. Hold on. Is your overall take that it's genuine? There's no fakery, and it's legit, and there is a 24-hour sun there.
As far as I can tell, yeah. I mean, I was recording every time Austin came on here, and I posted on my channel, and I definitely think they were there. I mean, I can't say that I know that 100%, but I mean, of course, that's as far as I could tell, and I'm pretty skeptical, you know. That it seems like that was legit. I don't think that's a problem for it to be a 24-hour sun. I don't think it does anything to flat Earth, but give us a better. It gets rid of the riffraff, the people that are just believing in a model, and they have to believe in a model to have their Earth, their whole life, okay about it. You know that they can go away. The riffraff can go away. Ballers can have their little cheer and think it makes a big difference, but it doesn't. It just helps us get to the, you know, I've been talking about E1's model ever since you know me, Gio, you know, with the 2-star sun or the 2-star rotations. And he left in 2016, he left the FE talk to work on his own model because he thought Antarctica is its own continent. There's still probably surrounding area that surrounds us, but I've always thought that's ridiculous to think Antarctica is surrounding us 360 degrees. You know how much land that would be? I mean, that would be you'd think that'd be pretty easily showable to be the case or not the case. If there's like that much land surrounding all of the known continents and they're trying to pass it off as this little continent at the bottom. But yeah, so E1's model was all of the continents pointing towards the south, all the tips of those continents pointing towards the south with 2-star rotations. And one of his big points was that there's 2 planets that are in the south that don't go in the north. You know, so you can't just have it all with reflection if you got 2 other planets that are only traversing in the south.
Wait, where did that come from? Well, because that's not true. All of the planets go. between the tropics.
That's what he seemed to think. I don't have the right. I'll have to get E1 in here to talk about what he was saying on that.
I mean, they all move between the tropics. They move between the tropics.
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah, exactly. Well, he was saying there's only a couple that move into the south. Maybe they move into the north as well, but there's only 2 that actually traverse into the south.
No, he's talking about.
Does that make sense?
They're stars, not planets, and they. I'm pretty sure you could see them in the north, but you mostly see them in the south.
I think he was saying 2 out of the other 6, or the other whatever, however many planets had like they were only in the south. The only 2 that went into the south. But he was talking about planets for sure. It wasn't just stars. But anyway, I don't want to talk on that if I'm not sure about it. But
Are you saying there's 2 stars then, Dave? Is that what you're saying?
no, planets. There's 2 planets that are known to traverse in the south, and the other ones don't.
I know about
As
Alpha.
far as
Alpha
I can remember what he was saying.
But like, so what is it that causes the 24-hour sun in the north and the south then? Because I thought you were talking about there was 2 stars.
Well, the 24-hour sun, I guess. I mean, you've seen Brian Leakey's model. He's done a pretty good job of showing that the 2 rotating star systems would be another way of modeling everything, and it answers a lot of questions that 1-star rotation system doesn't. Because if you're the 1-star rotation, then you have to have a reflection that's happening seemingly seamless, is I guess the best way to put it. Because if you were to walk, like say Antarctica was actually surrounding us 360 degrees, you know, and somehow they were able to pass it off as just one little area. Because like if you went from the tip of each continent to the outside, and then you're on the opposite side from somebody from the Earth, but then you're thinking you're at the same place. I mean, that would be pretty easy to show. Isn't the case? You would think. Not sure exactly how we'd show that.
Right. No.
I've never thought Antarctica surrounding us 360 degrees made a lot of sense. And I used to talk to E1 all the time, and he was like, "Yeah, Antarctica is its own continent." I'll post his model, and I'll even post the talk that when he was presenting some of his stuff. Someone just posted there, is that Gio? Yeah, the one you just posted, Gio. It looks just like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I posted the heart one.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, there's a lot that are like this. If you look at just on like the map projection, like Wikipedia. There's a lot that are like variations of this. I call this one butt Earth. Little butt
Butt
Earth
Earth,
action.
But Earth. That's awesome.
And then there's this. There's this one, which is the Lambert azimuthal equal area projection, which is kind of in the same category. Which is interesting because these look a little bit like Mercator maps, which is kind of interesting too. And that is what they paste on every wall in schools. You know, the kind of square map thing. I'm just saying these are a little bit like that, but have a little more.
Yeah, that's interesting. Real fast, not to change to whatever, but to go back to a point earlier, someone was saying that the pole was sweeping too fast, whatever, and that doesn't match a 93 million mile sun or whatever.
Correct.
All right, okay, so I modeled something in Blender real fast. I'm gonna screen share this if you guys don't mind checking it out. But I get the sweeping effect, and I am just assuming parallel light rays. So I don't think your analysis was correct. I'm just gonna say that right now. I think it's strictly just a perspective thing. You're dealing with something that's like, kind of far away. You have this really tall, pole, whatnot. And it has it's casting like a huge, a long shadow. And also you got to keep in mind, like it's kind of like I guess it's like anything that's long and then rotating, right? The end is obviously going to be traveling faster than the inner part, right? Like the outer part is going to be traveling way faster, right? Like if you have like a clock hand, if you go, the closer you get to like the middle point, it's gonna be traveling way slower, right? But if you go out on that the clock hand, that it's traveling a bigger circle, right? So it appears faster, right? So I think it's similar to that's causing this effect. But yeah, I'm
And how do you explain the diffusion?
Pull it up, Jamie.
Wait, the fusion.